Hi guys, welcome back on board of the Crypto Cruise. It's me, Chris, and today we're going to talk about Bitcoin Cash. We're going to talk some fundamentals, what Bitcoin Cash is all about, what makes it unique. We're going to talk some chart analysis, Bitcoin Cash compared to the dollar. Of course, we're going to talk some traditional markets such as S&P 500. Is my prediction has been coming out right at price of around 6,000. And before we do that, let's just start today's show about talking about the Bitcoin, the godfather of all coins, and that determines that's the absolute most important factor where all the crypto markets will go. Why do I talk about the traditional markets as well? Because they're very much correlated. So let's just start with the Bitcoin chart, and I've told you that I anticipate a bounce to start testing price of around 95, 96,000. That's what we're having, and now it will. Otherwise, it will approve or disapprove my theory that we are going for the correction. We can easily just snap on the upside, but I've told you either we're gonna go to 109,000 and then we're gonna have a huge pullback, a huge correction, and start testing price of around 82, 85,000. This previous yearly resistance line that we've tested in April and November of 2021, the price of around 64 or 69,000, and of course we tested it again beginning of this year in March at price of around 73,000, and we managed to snap out of this yearly resistance line earlier this month, and pretty much from prices of around from 4th of November price of around 66,000, we had a huge upside momentum to almost 100,000, and we didn't have any pullbacks. I mean, not really. And this is the first real pullback. So my personal opinion that we are in the correction. That we didn't have the power to break above 100,000. The bulls didn't have that power. So that's why we are coming back to test this previous yearly resistance line. We turn it into support, and then gonna have more continuation of the trend on the upside, and by the end of the year or early next one, potentially hit prices of above 100, 105, 110,000 by end of January. This is just my personal opinion. Anything I say in this video, it is not a financial advice. It's for pure entertainment purposes. And before you do anything, do your diligence and make your own research, because as I've said, this is not a financial advice. But so far so good. I think it will be healthy for the overall trend to actually come back and test this previously yearly resistance line at price of between 82, 85,000. This is just my prediction that we're gonna correct to these levels. We find the bottom, and then we're gonna have more upside momentum. After that, who knows? Let's just take one trade at a time. But my personal opinion, we're due for a huge correction. We'll find the bottom when everyone is thinking we're in a bear market, and then we're gonna have more continuation of the trend on the upside. I mean, if you've been following my channel, I've been nothing but right, especially here in August. I've told you I anticipate a huge correction. It actually started end of July, and the price were around 70,000. I've told you I anticipate prices to go below 60,000, and potentially then we're gonna have a final wash off to shake off all the weak hands and drop below 50,000. That's exactly what we had. We had a huge bounce. I called this local top at 65,000. I called this local bottom at 52,000. The continuation of the trend start hitting all-time high prices. I mean, everything has been coming out quite well. And if we look at the traditional markets, S&P 500, because they're very much correlated, not all the time, but most of the time. What did I tell you? That actually corrections will be healthy because we're in the raging bull market. And I anticipate once we drop to this ABC correction, 10% on the downside, just a normal regular one, I've told you I anticipate a huge V-shaped recovery, and that's what we had. I mean, you can turn back some of my videos. I think my very first video was a V-shaped recovery. You see, like almost 4 months ago, and it was just perfect. And that's what we had. We had this huge bounce, V-shaped recovery, start almost got to all-time high prices. And I've told you we're not gonna break the all-time high. We'll come back. We'll test this previous this resistance line, acted twice as resistance. Middle of July and end of July, we turn it into support, and then we're gonna have the continuation of the trend and start hitting all-time high prices and potentially go to 6,000, and that's exactly what we had. Once we hit 6,000, I've told you I'm not gonna be surprised if you have a little bit of a pullback, and that's what we had. We pull back to this local top at 5,850. We turn this local top into support, we find the bottom, and then we have more continuation of the trend. And I've told you I'm not gonna be surprised if this week hit price of above 6,100. I don't know if we're gonna do it today or tomorrow, but this is something in the charts that I anticipate for the coming days or next week. Of course, in the process, we formed a reverse head and shoulders, which measure from the head to the bottom. The price target should be above 6,250, and that's what I'm actually anticipating by the end of this year or early next one, to actually go above these prices and perhaps there's this huge resistance line. But yeah, let's see how exactly it's gonna play out. And I've told you, since S&P 500 looks bullish, the Bitcoin chart looks bullish. Some of the altcoins will actually start outperforming the Bitcoin chart, and I think potentially Bitcoin Cash will be one of those coins, because if history is any indicator, that's how usually it plays. And I've told you, at the market capitalization, the highest at the highest point, the market cap was almost around 70 billion, end of December of 2017. At the time of recording this video, it's a 10x. So if we repeat something what happened before, that'll be a 7 multiply whatever today's price is, around $500. That's 3,500. But once we have like a full price discovery, we can easily actually go to even further than that, and potentially, is it possible to reach market capitalization of above 100 billion? Potentially, yeah. And if we go to 110, for example, yeah, if we go to 110, 120, that will be price of around $6,000 per Bitcoin Cash. Of course, this is not a financial advice. Bitcoin Cash can easily go to zero, so always be open-minded, be level-headed, because no one can predict the future. Do your diligence and make your own research before you take any decision, because as I've said, no one can predict the future. That's not a financial advice. But in my personal opinion, is there more potential upside momentum for Bitcoin Cash? I think potentially, yeah. That's affirmative from my side. And what Bitcoin Cash is all about is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system that aims to become sound global money with fast payments, micro fees, privacy, and larger block size. As a permissionless, decentralized cryptocurrency, Bitcoin Cash requires to no trusted third parties. Bitcoin Cash was created as an alternative to the first and most valuable cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Um, yeah, I mean, has a lot of support. That coin has a lot of support. Has a huge fan base. Survived few bear markets, and if we look at the chart, we're in a huge triangle pattern since almost since its all-time high. Um, setting up lower setting up lower highs and higher lows, and now we're in the cusp of breaking out, and this month we almost double in price. So that's a good confirmation that we're in a bullish momentum. I'd like to go and take out this local top at price of around $720, potentially. If we do it the coming months or the coming weeks, we go and consolidate above 720, potentially go to 740 or even go above 800, come back. We turn this local top into support at price of around 720, and then we're gonna have more continuation of the trend on the upside, and we can easily snap. I'm telling you my personal opinion. Once we broke out significantly from this triangle pattern, we can easily go to way higher prices, to even go $6,000. I'm not gonna be surprised at all. Um, but yeah, first I'd like a little bit more momentum, more bullish momentum. Take out this local top at 720. Perhaps we go above 800. We turn this local top into support, and then we're gonna have more continuation of the trend on the upside. Take out this local top in May of 2021, price of around 1,640. In my personal opinion, we can easily go and snap to prices of around 4,400, the all-time high prices. Once we consolidate for a few weeks or maybe a few months, and we have full price discovery, we can easily snap to 6,000. I mean, that's a very explosive coin, and it can go up quite quickly. So do your diligence and make your own research. But I think Bitcoin Cash has more upside momentum in the coming weeks and the coming months. My personal opinion, not a financial advice. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate all the support, all the lovely comments. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do it. It's for absolutely free. And if you want to subscribe to my Patreon, get my crypto guidebook and the other book, The Art of Chart Analysis, over 70 pages of how to become a sophisticated trader, gain quite a lot of knowledge in the art of chart analysis. That would be amazing. And of course, with that subscription comes exclusive content with the most undervalued, underappreciated coins out there. Some of them 50, 100x potential. Not a financial advice. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see each other later on. Goodbye.